All right, guys, good morning and welcome back. All right, so in today's video, I want to show us how to do invisible zip at the shoulder of our outfit. Now, this method you are going to see is very, very easy and applicable to all outfits that you are putting zips at the shoulder. So, after you must have sewn the clothes the neck area, you must have piped your neck and iron the neck properly before you start fixing your zip. Now, this shoulder, when sewing, I use a loose stitch to join the shoulder point together, right? I use a loose stitch. So all you do now is to take the invisible zip. I like using the long zips for the invisible so that it will go all through to the shoulder. Then the sealed area, the invisible point, is the point you're going to face down to your joining line. Then push out the zip to come out 1.5 inch thereabout at the neck area. Then stitch it down. This is going to be a temporary hold or stitching, right? A temporary stitch. Make sure that the invisible point is facing at the jointed line. Make sure it's lapping here, right? Then you stitch from here, stitch from there, then it's lapping there, then making sure it's lapping properly, stitch from there. This is a temporary stitch, it's not the permanent or the real stitching. It's just to help you hold down the zip to the outfit. Then also stitch this one as well from front, stitch it as well from this point. If you're having issues while fixing your zips, one is longer than one, this is the solution to it. Then stitch all through from here, stitch all through from here. Then once you have gotten to this stage, the next thing you will do now is to lose the first stitch you use, the one you made the temporary stitch. You will lose the first stitch and then now sew it down. So lose this one, cut your thread as well, then lose that first stitch, the one you used to hold the two body together. Lose it, lose the first stitch. So once you have finished losing the first stitch, you now change your machine foot to the invisible foot, right? That is one of the simplest methods or ways you can do that as well. So now I have loosed the threads. Then this is how it is. This is how it is, right? Then you are meant to change your machine foot, loosen your machine foot, and then put the invisible footer. They have two types of this. This is the one I want to use. Then put the footer in that way. Put it in that way, and then you start sewing this invisible zip. Then open it up this way, then lay it down. Now the place that has the hole will face the teeth of the zip, right? Then start from the beginning, right? Usually because of how fragile these zips are always, I don't normally sew at exact folding. I give a little gap, but then the convention will tell you that you must stitch from the folded part of the invisible zip teeth or track. So start from there. Make sure you have tightened your stitch to a normal stitch. This one is normal stitch now. Don't use a loose stitch. Then stitch all through from the beginning. Stitch all through from the beginning. Stitch all through from the beginning. And get to the shoulder point, armhole area. And then cut your threads as well. Then cut your threads as well. Cut your threads as well. And then repeat the same thing on the other side. The same thing on the other side. So you also stitch from there. You also stitch from there. Stitch from there as well. stitch from there as well. Make sure you are stitching at the track of the folded part of the invisible zip. So after you must have done this now, the next you will do is to lock the zip first to cross check what you have sewn. If it's giving you a perfect fitting, so you lock your zip. You lock your zip this way. You lock your zip and be sure that it's very much balanced and equal. So as you can see how nicely sewn it is, right? And then this area, I will lock it after I must have folded the excesses inside, and then I will now lock the end, but still cross check, and the shoulders are equal at the neck area. So this is how to fix your zip. So next thing I will do now is to remove my invisible footer, and then I will replace with my normal foot this way. Then you fold the excesses to come backwards. Fold the excesses to come backwards this way.